Hey you guys, it's Michelle. Welcome back to my channel and thanks so much for being here. It's great to see you guys and I hope you are doing well. I know it's been a couple weeks since I have filmed a video, but today I'm hoping to redeem myself because I have got a huge basket of vintage makeup that I want to share with you. I want to go through this with you. I want to talk to you about what I found while I was up in California a couple weeks ago cleaning out my in-laws' house. Oh my gosh. Backstory real quick. My husband's mother passed away the end of July and she loved to shop. I loved her for that. We always had the best time bargain shopping. She liked places like Ross and TJ Maxx and Mervyn's. Do you guys remember Mervyn's? That was her favorite store ever. To make a long story short, she loved shopping and she never really liked to get rid of anything. So she had a lot of stuff to go through. His father asked if I could come help and donate the clothes and go through her closets and her drawers and cabinets and all that stuff to help him. So I did that. And while I was going through all of her stuff, oh my gosh, I found like literally a time capsule of really, really amazing stuff. I found stirrups and I found 80's blazers with shoulder pads, and like I was like, oh my god, I can't believe that you kept this. But then I was like, dang, that is so cool. It just reminded me of, you know, those good times that I loved so much. So while going through a closet, I found some really fun and interesting things, but I was also going through her cabinets in her bathroom and I was pulling out drawers, finding all sorts of crazy things, and I stumbled across her makeup and I was amazed by what I saw. I found makeup from the 70's, the 80's, and I think probably some from the 90's, things that were still in packages. Look at how cool this was. And I just was so in awe over looking at these things, you know, just remembering my love for makeup, because back in those times, that's really where I developed my love for makeup. So I brought this huge Ziploc bag of goodies back with me, and I have been trying to do some research on these things, trying to figure out what years they're from and stuff. But you know what? There's not a whole lot of information on the internet, which I find really surprising. So for example, look at this. Look at this blush. I mean, look at this blush. It is so funny. It's from a Maybelline. And I was like, oh my gosh, I know I used that in high school. I know I probably had the same exact one. But I was trying to figure out the year. I looked on the back, looked at the tag. It didn't tell me anything. And I couldn't really find anything online about the old Maybelline makeup and the years that they came out or were released. Other than pictures. I found a bunch of pictures that were like on Pinterest and Etsy, people selling vintage makeup, but I really couldn't find the history on these. So I don't really know what the age of these were, but again, I just found them fascinating to look through. So if you know of any place that I can go to, if you know of a resource that I can do some research on some of this stuff and figure out what year it was, that would be super helpful. You know, obviously I didn't try any of it on. I didn't swatch any of it. It's really more for collector's purposes. I'm so excited to have this, and I thought we could go through it together. Before we get into the makeup, I also found a 1972 Cosmopolitan magazine in her nightstand. How cool is this cover? I was like, oh my gosh, this looks like an old magazine. When I saw it was 1972, I was like, oh my gosh, I've got to go through and look at the ads. Check this out. Charles of the Ritz makeup. Isn't that cool? There are so many fun ads that I found, things that I haven't heard about in so long, brands that I haven't seen in so long. Look at this. Fabergé. Look at that makeup. Isn't that so awesome? I just had the best time looking through all of the fashions And again, the advertisements. It was really, really fun. Look at this ad for Revlon. Isn't that cool? And then the back cover is Coty makeup. Now I know that they still make the Coty Airspun powder, but do you know, do they still even make makeup anymore? I don't know. I just thought this was really cool and I wanted to share this as well. I'm going to divide this all up by brand. My mother-in-law loved a bargain, so this is all drugstore makeup. And let's just jump in to, let's do CoverGirl first. CoverGirl has always been one of my most favorite drugstore brands. And after seeing these logos on these products, I was like, oh my gosh, I was transported literally back to when I was 12 and 13 and 14 going up and down the aisles with my mom at the drugstore, you know. I got all the feels and I love this. All right, first up we've got two blushes. Neither one of them have labels on them, and actually, look at this. They look very similar in color. This must have been her favorite color. And they look, oops, they look very similarly used. But I just thought these were so funny. Again, just because it gave me all the feels. It has that same Noxzema smell that just all the CoverGirl makeup does have. So I found that really, really interesting. Here is a powder. This is the translucent medium powder. Again, the same logo. I love that. Here's the powder on the inside. And again, it was very well loved. I have another powder that looks maybe a little bit newer. It's got that green plasticky packaging that you can kind of see through. This one looks brand new. I don't think it was ever used. Maybe it was used a little bit, maybe once or twice. This is in the color Ivory. This probably looks like it was from the 90s, I would assume. All right, I have a foundation that is still in the packaging. How cool is this? This is the Ultra Finish Cream Makeup. I don't really ever recall seeing this in store before. It is in the color Fresh Beige. I think it is super cool that it is still in the packaging. It's a very interesting jar. And I love that. And lastly, from CoverGirl, I've got 3 eyeshadows. Are you ready for these? These are Blast from the Past throwback packaging. And we've got kind of a green color and 2 purple colors. So let's do the green first. This is the CoverGirl Pro Colors in the color Khaki. It looks like kind of a frosty green color. Frosty, kind of a seafoam green. Definitely looks like she got a lot of use out of this color. She used that applicator, which I think we all used the applicators that came with the makeup because brushes were not huge way back when, or that at least I remember. So that is the seafoam green color. And then the 2 purpley colors are here. This is a very similar packaging to this one, but as you can see, the logos are a little bit different. This is in the color, let's see, Windswept Violet. And I went to go open it up to see what it looks like, and this is still sealed. Crazy, crazy, crazy. This one reminded me of something I wore in, you know, junior high. This is the CoverGirl eyeshadow duo in Lavender and Soft Orchid. It was well loved. These purple colors definitely were the hot colors back in the 80s and 90s. All right, one of my favorite drugstore brands is Maybelline. And I think it was probably her favorite drugstore brand as well, because this is where I have the majority of the items from her collection. So we're going to start off with these 2 right here. These are the Shine Free. This is the Oil Control Translucent Pressed Powder. How cool is that? This is probably from the 90s or maybe early 2000s. I remember the Shine Free line. I don't even know if they still make that or not, but again, brand new, still in packaging. I just love to see the old logos, things like that. This is the Blemish Control Concealer. Again, brand new in packaging and really fun. You know, these have different date codes and stuff on the back like this. I don't know if they mean anything. I wish they would be able to translate to the year. But again, in doing my research, I couldn't really find anything on that. All right, let's move to blush, because when I saw these blushes, I was like, oh my gosh. Junior high and high school all day long. This one is the Blush Duo. This is in the pastel peach color story. I just love seeing these applicators. I mean, again, this is what I use for my blush as well. This is a really pretty color combination that I would definitely wear today. I just love the logo. I think it is so fun to reminisce and compare. Look at this one. This one's a little bit different. This is the Moisture Whip by Maybelline. It looks like the top cracked, and she put a little bit of some plastic tape on it to keep it together. But this again is a really pretty color that I would use again today. Let's jump to Maybelline eyeshadow. This was a blast from the past. Look at that. How cool is that? Still in packaging, brand new. This is the iced turquoise color. Colors that cling. Isn't that so cool? I don't know what year this was from, but I would love to know. This has to be, I would think, from the 80s. I mean, that color is 80s all day long. I just think it's really cool from the packaging. This was $2.25. I think that's kind of expensive for just a single eyeshadow. Two other eyeshadows that I have are these Maybelline singles. Both of them are brand new, never opened, still sealed. I love this logo. It has an E and an E in here. I guess that's for Expert Eyes. This is the Expert Eyes eyeshadow, and the color is Antique Olive. That's really pretty. And then this one, again, fully sealed, is Expert Eyes in Silken Taupe. I have a Maybelline powder. How fun is this? I just love these old compacts. This is Moisture Rip Translucent Pressed Powder. This is the color Light. And this looks like it was probably back from, I don't know, the 70s, but definitely the 80s. This is a really kind of a flimsy plastic. It looks like it is quite old. So that was cool. And then I have three mascaras that I wanted to share. Of course, we have the good old standby Great Lash. This is still sold in stores today. This is the Great Lash mascara. This is in the older packaging. I was looking it up. Obviously, they have changed their packaging since then, but I want to say this is probably from the 80s. These two are very cool as well. This one is the Ultra Thick Ultra Lash mascara, and this one is Fresh Lash. Here is the brush. Again, looks very typical. And then let's look at this one. Looks very, actually that brush looks exactly the same as this one. So looks very standard and very typical to what you would find today. Lastly from Maybelline is this fun lipstick. She actually had several of these, but I just brought one home. I thought this was so reminiscent of when I fell in love with makeup. I remember going to the drugstore, the grocery store, and looking at the makeup and seeing these little lipsticks. I thought that was so cool. I remember thinking that they were real, but of course, when you take it off, it is just the color tip. I remember thinking that was the coolest thing. This is a really pretty corally color. This is in the color Lollipop. Next, let's talk about the brand Max Factor. Now, do they even still sell Max Factor? I remember they had it in the drugstores and then they took it out, but I think they brought some items back. I don't remember the whole history in the story, but I did find a couple really interesting and intriguing items of hers that were from Max Factor. This one is a brand new, still sealed foundation. This is the High Definition Perfecting Makeup. Really interesting. I don't know when this was purchased. This might have been even, you know, in the 2000s. So I'm not sure when this was purchased. The packaging looks pretty nice and new. This one gave me flashbacks again to my youth. Look at this bottle. Isn't that crazy? I remember pulling this out of the drawer and I was like, oh my God, that logo, Maxi. This is the Unshine oil-free makeup. Again, very well loved. It looks like it is dried out, but I think the bottle is so super cool. So fun. This one, I don't recall ever seeing this logo. This looks like it was a concealer. It's called Erase Plus Extra Cover in the color Tan. I guess it's a cream concealer. Looks like it was maybe tested or swatched once or twice. But look at this logo. Isn't that cool? I don't recall ever seeing that Max Factor logo. So I just thought this was really, really neat. And then I've got two eyeshadows that I think you are going to love. Look at this baby. It is that baby blue eyeshadow that, you know, the 80s were known for. This is the Maxi Rich Shadow in the color Shy Blue. Oh my gosh, wait till you see this. I opened it up and it looks like the little applicator came off. It looks like it kind of disintegrated, but that color is just, it screams vintage to me, doesn't it? And then I have this one right here. It is an eyeshadow palette from Max Factor and it's called the Rich Color Eyeshadow Collection in Brights and Soft Focus. There's the back. I don't know how old this was, but this looks like that may be a little bit more recent. I thought that was really fun too. Moving on, I have got two items from the brand Natural Wonder. Do you guys remember this brand? I was like, oh my gosh, this vaguely looks familiar. When I was doing some research online, I found that this is a Revlon company that's no longer in business. This is the Keep Blushing. Look, it tells you where to put your blush. This looks pretty old. This definitely looks like it is from the 80s. This is Keep Blushing Waterproof Blush. Very cool that it's still in the package. And you know what? This was $3.49 back in the day. This was kind of expensive. That's pretty awesome. And then I found this. This is a Natural Wonder Shadow Box Powder Shadow Compact. Look at those colors. Wow. So fun. Next, we are going to talk about the brand Aziza. Do you guys remember Aziza? Again, I pulled this out of the drawer and I'm like, oh my gosh, do they even make Aziza anymore? I don't know if they do. But I have three items from the brand Aziza. This looks like it maybe was the old logo. This looks like a little bit more hip packaging, so maybe this is a little bit more recent. Sorry about that, I just got a text. These are two mascaras. This is the extra length mascara with sealer. And I'm like, what is sealer? It says the extraordinary lash extending formula that has a unique built-in sealer that locks up lustrous color to keep lashes looking luscious all day long. Interesting, right? And then I have a liquid eyeliner. This is called the Liquid Eyeliner Ultra Slim Brush for thin, precise lines. Again, brand new, never opened. Now the eyeshadow, it's that popular purple color that it seems like Nancy really loved. It's the All Day Performing Eye Color in the color Current Frost. This is really pretty. I just love that. It's more like a periwinkle purpley blue. I think that's a really pretty color. I just love that sponge applicator. I only have one product from the brand L'Oreal, but this is a good one. Are you ready for this? Let me see if you remember this, because when I saw this, I was like, it just looks like a green single eyeshadow. But when you open it up, I was like, oh my God, I totally remember these applicators. These were cutting edge, super cool. Everyone had to have them. They were finger applicators. Do you guys remember these? They made them so this applicator opens up and you're supposed to slip your finger in here and apply your eyeshadow with the finger applicator. Isn't that so fun? I just think this was awesome. This is the Let's see, L'Oreal Eye Accents Moisture Finish Cream Eyeshadow with Fingertip Applicator. Isn't that so cool? I just thought this was awesome. If you guys know what years these were made, let me know. I think it is super cool. It looks like it was used a couple times, but I just loved just seeing this and, you know, remembering way back when. So the next and final 10 or so items, I probably would guess these are the oldest in the collection. The next brand I'm going to show you is from Revlon. This is brand new in packaging. You can tell the packaging is yellow. This is the Revlon Naturally Glamorous Blush On Silky Long Wearing Formula Blush. Pretty, pretty, pretty. I would say this looks kind of expensive. The packaging is really nice, although it looks like it was originally $7.35 on sale for $3.98. That's great. I wish I would have known what year this is from. Look at the R. The logo is very cool. So that is a blush. And then these are really, really cool. These are 3 lipsticks that I found. I thought these were amazing. This is a metal container. It's really, really heavy. It's beautiful. I love the detail that it has on it. Will this even turn up? It's not even turning. Oh, there it goes. It's a very pretty coral color. You see, I have my nails all done for Halloween. So that is this lipstick. I thought that was really fun. And then I have these two. I thought these were super cool. Very, very different looking. I love the outer packaging on this one. Again, very heavy, very, very pretty. There's the R logo. And then again, that same corally color. And lastly, this lipstick is so, so pretty. I just love the detailing of the package. Here's the label. It says 96 Fire and Ice. Oh, look at that. They just don't make lipsticks like they used to, right? I love that shape. I don't know if that's how it was originally shaped, or if that is just from her lips. You know, everyone kind of gives their lipsticks a different shape, but you can tell. So, so cool. I love those so much. I have got 2 products from Avon, and these, if I had to guess, I would guess are from the 70s. This I pulled out. It was in her cabinets underneath her sink. And this looks like it was a lotion. It's called Avon Dew Kiss. Look at that. I love this bottle. I love the cap. It's kind of ribbed. I didn't open it. It doesn't have a label on the back or the bottom, but I love this vintage logo. I think this is so cool. Very, very, again, just nostalgic of those simpler times. And then, are you ready for this? I almost screamed when I saw this, because I remember either my mom or my aunt or my cousins, maybe my grandmother, they had these. These were perfume sticks, and it threw me back to those times when I was younger, and I just was so in awe of makeup and beauty and perfume, you know. This is such a cool component. I love the olive green and kind of gold detailing. I love the cream ribbed cap and bottom. This actually still smells like honeysuckle. It is called the Mystic Honeysuckle perfume. It smells very much like honeysuckle. It smells like old honeysuckle, but it still has that noticeable scent. So it didn't turn, which I find really, really interesting. It's kind of like a chapstick component where you roll it up and roll it down. I didn't roll it up. I don't want to get it stuck, but I just thought this was so, so awesome. The last 5 things are kind of just one-off brands. They're all different. I found this beautiful old bottle of oil of Olay. I opened this one up to smell it, and it smells gross. So the scent It doesn't last, but it did definitely turn. I just love the bottle. I love the label. I thought it was really cool. There is a throwback nail polish if I've ever seen one. This is from the brand Smarty. This is the bold ones in the color Crimson Crisis. Obviously it is dried up and used, but I just love the aesthetic of the packaging. Very, very cool. There's nothing on the back, nothing on the bottom, but I just love this so much. So this next eyeshadow is a brand I don't recall hearing about. It's called Clarion. Do you guys know Clarion? It is a very pretty, kind of a deep tealy color eyeshadow. This is by the brand Noxel, which makes CoverGirl as well. This is called Clarion Silk Palette Eyeshadow in the color Emerald Teal. And it's a very pretty color. It looks like it was maybe swatched once or twice by the looks of the sponge applicator, but again, very simple, very reminiscent of like these from Maybelline. I also found an eyeshadow palette. This is called Bright Eyes by Jan Evans. 9 catching shades for eyes, plus 1 sponge applicator. Look at this. This was originally $4 on sale for $1.48 from Mervyn's. Whew. Let's see what this looks like, shall we? I don't think I opened this up. Oh. So it just looks like it is an open type component. And there you go, Jan Evans. Who knew? And lastly, there is a blush that has no label on it. But look at that. It looks very similar to stuff that I used to use, that maybe my mom used to use. I have no idea what brand it is. If anyone knows, let me know. I just thought this was super cool. Very fun packaging. Look at that brush. And again, it was well loved. So that does it for my vintage makeup collection. Please, 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 if you know of where I can do some research and find information about the years that some of these things were made, or, you know, like this, I would love to know the history on this brand and what colors they sold and what years they were sold to and all of that. I would love to know. So if you guys have any kind of tips or tricks of doing some research, let me know down in the comments below. I would love to hear from you. And I think that's it. So I appreciate you joining. Next video is going to be a major announcement. So be on the lookout for that. And I think that's all for now. Thanks so much for being here. Have a great week ahead, and I will talk to you soon. Mwah! Bye. Oh my gosh, how could I totally miss this? I was actually just cleaning all of my stuff up to finish up the video and shut everything down. And I went to go pull up the magazine to go put it in the box over here. And I was like, wait a minute, how did I miss this? Cosmo, at last, the first male nude centerfold. And I was like, oh, what? Who is it? It says The Naked Truth About Guess Who. And I was like, who? Are you ready for this? This is probably why she kept it, I would think. Oh my God. Now, if this is not a classic, I don't know what is. This was the best end to any video that I have ever done.